Good morning, everybody. It's quite been hectic week for me, and I'm trying to make this video this early morning. And I believe that all of you have you've had good decent trade this week, and what we have been saying here is we are taking it one after the other. So this is DXY. I'm quickly going to go through the trades and what to expect from the current level. So this is DXY, and this is the monthly chart. And we're familiar with what I told us here, and what I told us here, what this is, and what we are currently into. And I said that this is the last wave here. Now, let's pay attention to this. This is a monthly chart. You know, what I've been doing lately is to start with price action that we are seeing and how to interpret the price action. When we add this, I said in a monthly, this is a sign of correction, and that not until the price close properly up here, they won't change a trend. So this is a price action for a correction, you know, on a monthly chart. Of course, when this is forming, nobody would know that it's going to be like this. Yeah, but this is a price action. You see it first on the 1 hour, 4 hour daily, and it progresses like that. Now, if you want to look at this price action on the strength of what we know, you say, oh, this is a bullish move. Yet it's a bullish move. It's an armor. Is it going to continue like that? No, you know, because the way it is, the movement is, we know, it's still bullish, and the trend is still very strong. You know, here, moving down, the body down, and the wick up here, it's a correction just like this. This is just a powerful correction, and this is a small correction. So this is what you see in a powerful correction. So let's quickly go to the weekly to see what to expect. Now in the weekly, now you can see that, you know, this is what we have. This is what we have in the weekly, which is a bullish move. This is a bullish move. Now, how are we going to deploy this in the weekly? If we're going to deploy this, we can aim. Okay, let me go to the daily to make it more clearer to you so that you can see more clearly. Now, the daily. Now, in one of the videos, I said this move from here to here, this is like a small W, X, and Y, and which Y ends here, another W, X, and Y ends here. So we are looking at this run as entire W move, and that this we expect to be an X before we have a Y leg downside to the downside. So what we are expecting is that this correction has not finished, and I'm going to bring out something to you that it has not finished, and we expect that it has not finished, that we're still going to have a leg down, which is going to run lower down, and before we now make a move, the last move to the upside. If I bring this down, bring it out, this is what I told us, that this is a blue box for a downside. So the price is now within the blue box. But because it's within the blue box, are we going to say we are selling this blindly and say, okay, DXY is going to fall and continue falling flat to change trade? We must understand the structure in the making. Then I said from here to here, this has ended a 3-5 here. So from here to here is a W. So we want to see an X here and a fall of Y before we turn up again. That is what you should have at the back of your mind. So from this current level, we don't want to buy WXY. We are looking for a sell. That is how to engage. If you don't engage as such, and you're just looking at candles and all of that, you are going to burn and you're going to lose. So, but one thing is that in engaging days, we know that, let me quickly bring those things out for you to see. And let me, I think you can see the screen very well. So we are saying that this is a W, we are saying that this is a W, and we are saying that this is an X, and we want to call for a Y to the downside. We want to call for a Y to the downside before we turn up again. So I believe that this correction is still not enough. But at this level, we need to see a proper action. You don't want to continue to buy because, okay, you have enjoyed a ride or, to buy DXY and you think it's going to continue to go like that. We don't want to do that. We want to see a price action for a sell here. Now, this may be a WXY, and they may change this structure a bit to make it an ABC. And I will tell you the difference between a WXY and an ABC, looking at this structure. In a WXY correction, the X, which is the second arm, it's not usually deep. It's not usually deep. X should be between 61.8, 76.4, or 85 points. So it shouldn't go beyond 85 to make it an X. So in that case, X will turn down. But it is usually 85. No, so it's usually 61.8, but it can get to 85.4 now of the feed. So we should be expecting that. But if they change that structure, once it gets to 90, it is not an X again. So it won't be a WXY again, then it's likely going to be what is likely going to be an ABC. We should still expect a WXY, but once it gets to 90, then it will become an ABC. And I will tell you the difference between the two. Now, let me take something out. And that is what you are going to engage. That is how to engage the other ones. Let me use this. I think you should be able to see that color, all of you. So let me use this. This is the peak here. This is the weekly candle. I prefer to use this weekly candle. This is the peak here. And this is where we are at the movement. Forget about what I've done before. This is where we are at the movement. Where could this one potentially be? And I will be drawing something out also. I'll be drawing something out there also now. What we are telling ourselves is that from the point of W, the beginning of W to the end of W here, we expect it to be an X. Still, this is 76, and let me clone this for those two levels. This is 76.4, and this is 85.4. That is 85.4, and this is 90. That is 90. That is 90. So what we are saying is that we expect this a changeover around this area. Now, we expect if it's going to be an X, a change within this zone for it to be an X. That is what we are saying. So anything more than 85.4, it is not an X again. That means the structure will change to an A, B, C. The price is presently at 76, but potentially to get to 85.4. So once we cross that, it is then not a WXY, it will be an ABC. Potentially, it's still the WXY. And it is allowed, if they're going to make this thing an ABC, I want you to know that they can make it an ABC, and that is why you must be versatile. It's not a straight jacket. If it's an ABC, then we now know it's an ABC. Now, let me quickly take this down out to a daily candle formation for you to see it better now. So, you can see it's not totally laid here. So, yeah, that's a W. That's a W, and we said X will be here. So if it's going to be an X, it should be finishing in this zone. And interestingly, that level is a level of the daily resistance. You can see here is the level of the daily resistance that you should expect a change. If it should get here, then it is not an ABC anymore. No, sorry, it's not a WXY anymore, then it will be an ABC. In that case, if it's going to be an ABC, we must discuss that possibility of it being an ABC. Let me drag this thing down. Now, we must look at the possibility of this thing being an ABC. Of course, our blue zone for down movement is can still extend to it. It's not because, oh, it has entered the blue zone, then let's go and be selling. No, you must be looking at the structure. That's what I'm trying to say here. Now, anything more than this frame here, it is an ABC. So if it's going to be an ABC, it now means that this will be an A. This will now be an A. This will now be an A. We now have a B we will now have a B. Once we break that zone, we will have a B, then we'll now have a C. So this will be an A if price breaks beyond X. And this will be a B, and the Y now becomes a C. That is still possible. Now, the difference now is that if price is going to do a 90, let me take it again. If price is not going to do this, at a 90, when B is a 90, then that's the possibility of what? Of a running flat to the downside. It will give us a possibility of a running flat to the downside. Let me be using blue for those points since I used blue to mark A, B, C. So then it can be a 123. If it's not a 123, at 123 here, at this level, it becomes, it can become an extended flat. It can become an extended flat. But for it to become an extended flat, sorry, before I let me correct myself. Let me correct myself. At 90, which is here, just above here, it becomes a regular flat. It becomes a regular flat. At 123 here, it becomes a running flat. Between 123 and 161, once it does not break above it, it becomes an extended flat. That's just the difference it's going to make. It will not change what we expect to happen. But here it becomes an X, which is still what we expect. At here, which is 90, it becomes a regular flat. At here at 123, it becomes a running flat. And between this zone here, it becomes an extended flat. We're not going to look at those possibilities, what we can get if it becomes either. Now, if this is an X here, we expect equal leg to Y. Now, let's try and project and see, because that is what exactly I want you to see, the possibility of this thing be changing from WXY to ABC. Let me now try and project a B. We have done something in the past while we are trying to find a level for where 4 is going to be. And what we did then was to tell you that this is a 2. This is a 1. If I go through that again, let me, yeah. For this structure, we said this is a 1, And here is a 2. So if we take a fib retracement from a 2 up to a 1 on the DXY, we said the fourth will be here, which is where currently it has turned up at 23.6, and it could be here which is 38 here, and we said it shouldn't go beyond here, which is 50. It shouldn't go beyond here, which is 50. I've done something to so I'm taking that one off now. So this is a 38 price had reacted at 23.6. This is a 38.2, and that is where we expect price to not to breach this, or in between this zone, we should see more upside. Now, if it's going to be a WXY from this level, let's take the maximum height of WXY. If it's going to be a WXY, we are only projecting at this moment, at this point. If it's going to be that, then it means price will do this to this point, back to the new high here for X, and we will expect at 100, which is at this level, just at this level, just below here, below 123 here, where you have the, where you see the black. Let me now change this to, let me say, green. It means that this will now become a Y. So, and we are targeting something between this zone. It will just only fall a bit below it, and that might not be what we want. So eventually it might break, or if it's extended, because we usually it will do an 100. Usually it will do an 100. If it's extended, then probably it can come to 123 here for AWXY. So we might actually change, they might actually change this structure. The possibility of changing this structure from AWXY to ABC is very, very high. It's very, very high. So you cannot, you can't do anything except you see a price action here. So if they now extend the structure, probably it can just get within this zone for AWXY. So if it's going to be a running flat, sorry, a regular flat, if they take a 90, it does not show any much difference from of that, because they could make it a 90. So if they make it a 90, then this is what we're going to get. We're going to get this. Then it's not going to run shallow. I'm going to get this up to this blue here for it to be a 90. Then in a 90, they're going to make it a regular. So it's going to come up to this level and make this one is going to push this one a bit further up to make that one a regular flat. So if it's not that and they want to make it and a running flat, to make it a running flat, it means that it's going to come here, and unfortunately, it's going to fall here again. So the possibility of being a running flat, it might not be an option here, because in a running flat, it won't go beyond here. It won't extend. It can extend above, which is at this level of 123, and it can come back to this place and back to this level to make it a running flat. So a running flat option will only make this an 100, which is at this level. It won't give you any other thing because it can be 100, 61, and that is what a running flat will give you, a 60 on 100. So that's what a running flat will give you. A running flat most likely will not give you more than that. But if it's going to be an extended flat from that level, then extended flat from this level of a running flat would only make it come to this point. So, which is very close to the point of reaction. And of course, an extended flat also from this level can give you a 141. So, and it can be, so it can be a 141, it can be between 141 and between 123 and 161. So if we take an option of 141, we are projecting to see what they might actually do. A 141 at this level will be this. Instead, it will be this. A 141 will be this. Let me now change it to red for that 141. So a 141 will now be at this level. Okay. So mark you, the zone here is the zone for extended flat. From here to here is an extended flat. At this level, it can still be a running flat, which will now stall at 100. So what we are saying is that the option of a running flat will not be on the table, because what's the option of making this one run up and when this one will just fall short of this place? So is the option of a running flat may not be on the table, but an extended flat will still be on the table. They can make it a regular flat. They can, is either they do in between an 85 or a 90. But once it breaks above, they are going to walk around this area to make it an extended flat to still correct to this point. That is what I'm trying to tell us. So if it's going to be a 141, let's look at that as an option if it's not going to walk beyond that level. So if they make this an option of 141, a B, and it comes to this level, then back to the top here. If it's a 141, the 141 can be an 100, which will be this level. Sorry. Yeah, which will be at this level. And a 123, which will break slightly lower than that, than here, which will now fall at this level of what they call it now, the support here. So we should be looking at that possibility. If they don't make it, a 90 really is not on the table per se. A 90 is not on the table. A 90 and an X is still the same, almost the same, but X will be better because X might still extend a wave. If it's not an X, then it's going to be an extended flat. That is what it can be. So a running flat will not be on the table. And if it's going to be a running flat, you won't expect a reaction at 123. That is what I'm trying to say. So the reaction will be between 141 and 161. So it might be going more deeper than what we are thinking. So we need a price action, first a 4-hour price action, and or a daily price action. So before we project further from here. So what we are saying now in an attempt to understand what they might likely do is that if we begin to correct downward, they might do a small correction downward because they might just do a small correction downward, go up to break the top again, and before eventually now throwing that leg to the downside, you know, and that is what we might be seeing. On the higher time frame here, so this is still look pretty much like a 1, 2, 3 wave, and so they can make this one a 1, 2, and 3 wave to finish up, and they will now run down with in 5 waves. If you look at the daily, if you push back to the daily, this is still like a 1, 2, 3 wave where they came down like a 1, a 2, okay, like a 1, a 2 here, this is the bridge, and it was really rather too small, and they finish up here. So it's like a 3-wave structure here. That's like a 3-wave structure, and they might make this also a 3-wave structure by going up, down a bit to test a support here, take it up more, and so when we see reaction here, if we see a reaction at 85 or at 90, we may sell it because what you want to do actually is to sell. We may sell it. If we sell, we will sell to look for a support somewhere here. And if they're going to go down, then we're going to go more down and to come, you know, around this area. So we can't sell right away, but we'll need to see a reaction around this area. So we don't want to buy from here. We don't want to buy DXY from here. That is what I'm saying. So we should be watching for any reaction around that level. We should be watching for reaction. So now, if I go to where I have my drawings already, because this is what I use, this is what that will only give me 4-hour, you know, and with what I've said here, these are broken out of here now, and this will give me a 4-hour here. These are broken out of here now, so this that is looking like a wedge might not now be a wedge, you know, an ending structure. It might not now be. So let me take this out. Oh, let me still leave that one there. Because that's one, it's going to tell me that the structure is coming down. So let me take this one out. It has broken here. So this is not on the table anymore. It has broken that alert, which is not on the table anymore. So that alert is not on the table anymore. So what we are looking at is the possibility of these stalling between those points. Structure is very important for us to really understand. Structure is very, very important. Structure is very, very important. So I'm just saying the same thing all over again. This is 78, and which the price had moved beyond all of these now. This is at 90. This is the area we should still expect a reaction now. Once we move beyond here, so we can't be setting any alert anyhow. All these ones are gone. These ones are gone. So again, we had at 61.8, so it has gone. So this is the high point where we expect the X. Once we move beyond that, then we now look at other possibilities and what the price can do. So, but I can tell you for free, the way price is going up, that we are still correcting. We are still correcting. So we need to break this trend. This is all gone. This is gone. So we need to see how we are going to break this new trend to the downside. But by the time you are seeing an alert to break this trend, price would have moved massively. And that is why, you know, the understanding of structure also comes into play for an early entry. Reaction is what we expect. I've done a pinpoint measurement. I've done a pinpoint measurement. So what I'm trying to say is that within this pinpoint measurement, if price should break this slightly by a margin, a small margin, so it's not valid again. And if price should break 90 also by a small margin, it's not valid again, because it's a pinpoint measurement. And so this is the level price must not go beyond. Yeah, that is the daily resistance there. So that's the daily resistance. So this is the area we are expecting to see a reaction. So I think that is all that I can say here. That is all on the DXY. That is all I can say here. Now, if you take this also back to Euro USD, is the same on Euro USD, but we might be seeing a correction, then a push up to that level. So we need to focus on these areas. We need to focus seriously to see what is going to happen. The network is now terrible. Oh my God. Network is terrible now. continue to go down. So in our interpreting price action at those levels, if this one closed in 4 hours, because this is 4-hour chart like this, I won't take it. It needs to close with some momentum to the downside. And on the 4 hour before I say, okay, I will take it serious. So it's still not good for me to say we want to come down. It's still not good for me to say we want to come down. Of course, if we break this, then potentially it could be a good sign. If we break it, it could be a good sign. But at the moment, it is not what I want to trade. We need to wait patiently to see how this one is broken to the downside, the DXY. So that is what we expect. So now I'm going to be very fast now because I don't want to take too much time here. So if we now use like Euro USD also, Euro USD is the same thing I said about ABC and all of that on the DXY that is also on the table for Euro USD. So this could be the first reaction. So we are in the zone already. This could be the first reaction. And it is not going to be also the it is not going to be if it's not going to be a WXY and it's going to be a 90, then we'll see what it's going to be. This could be a Y, or it could be end up being an A, B, and a C. So if it's a B, it's going to break below this low, and we'll see a reaction to the upside to walk up, around this zone. So that is what we should expect, and eventually we'll see how we break this one, to change the structure to the upside. So we'll be looking for that eventually. But the first one to break is this. Are we going to make nonsense of this? Also, if we take it to look for the 80, so if we take it here, yeah. So this is 76, which has been broken. So we are looking for 85. So this is 76. We have broken 76, which the price actually engaged, and we are looking at 85, which is here at this level. That would be like a great level, and this is a 90. If you get to a 90, then it has changed. It's going to break the low. So like I said, regular flat really is not on the table once we breach this area. Once we breach this area, regular, corrections flat will not be on the table for me. I will be looking for an extended flat, which means that I will be looking for it to break low and extend beyond 123 or between 123 and 141 to ride upwards again. So we'll see. If we see a deep correction, if we see a deep correction here, something like maybe between 50 and 100 pips here, then it's going to get to that level before they turn up again. So that is what we should be expecting. But then we don't want to sell anymore from here. We want to look for a buy with proper action. So that's what I'm saying. We want to look for a buy with proper price action. So this is the zone for me. This is the zone for me here that we are looking for. That's the zone we are looking for. A buy, if we get any price action for a buy here, so we, of course, we have to see a momentum candle to know that we are going to go for a buy. We need to see that momentum candle here. So that is what we are saying now. So we need to see that momentum candle. All these ones are no more on the table. All these ones are no more on the table. Now, the last one I will talk about also is the Usdjpy. That Usdjpy, I think the video I did last, I did talk about the Usdjpy and what to expect, that this will be going up, and this is, it has entered that blue zone area. And if you want to sell this, you may put your sell at 138. So at 138, you can look for a sell here and use this as your stop loss. Once it gets to 90, it's going to break above it. It's not going to come down. It's still almost the same. We're looking for this one will now become a W, and we're looking for a sell. But the way this one had gone up, it is more as an expo for me, for this one to be an ABC, which is an extended flat, or it could be an extended flat. No, it could be a regular flat or running flat. So that is what this one can be from the way I've seen it here. So an A and a B, because this is like a 76, almost 76. If I see again, from here, from A to this level, yeah, it's almost a 76, which can make this one an extended flat, or like a zigzag correction. If it's going to be a zigzag, then it's going to be like this: 100 to the upside. That would be an 100 to the upside. An 100 is at this level, and a 123 is at this level. So this is the level that this can be. And in that situation, it becomes a running flat. It becomes a running flat in that situation, or an extended flat. So that's the level that we can see further decline. So that is the level we can see a further decline. So if you put it at 138, you are good to sell again. 138 to sell again. So this is where I expect a reaction. And most likely that also might coincide with when DSY is going to go with again. So for all the DSY structure, I think 85, that level is still a level that we can expect a fall in the price. So we are almost there. We're almost there. You can hold on. 138 is good for you to sell, and we just within this area, maybe at 139, then we can put our stop loss. We should see a reaction around that area. So that is what I can see. And in that case, because we are saying that it's going to now finish up the structure, come down to this area, then we can ride up again. So we are expecting that to happen. Where that is, then if you look at what structure is making with this, from this top down here, the recovery will just be around 85, around this area of entry at 123. So which will still make it properly an X for further decline. We'll make it an X for further decline and to work around this zone before we turn up again. So I'm expecting that it's going to be a good level for us to sell this down. Then we now look for a buy here. So I think that's pretty much all I can say for today. And we'll meet inside the hub again. Bye.